Pretty little girl, laying all alone.
These are the tools you're going to need to power up a power seat. Make sure you always have pliers. Just make sure it has the wire cutter integrated. If not, just have the separate tool for that. Just to make sure so we can strip the wires in the back. I'll go ahead and show you which one's going to be. Right here, just make sure it has a wire cutter. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and show you is what you're going to need is a terminal removal kit. These are pretty good to use. They're very useful. So we can go ahead and try to help. I got these from Amazon. I believe it was $10.99. Um, I'll go ahead and put the link in the description. So what we're gonna ahead and need these is in order to move the cables from there, from the adapter. And those are the ones I showed. Usually the ones you're gonna need is kind of have to see which one's gonna fit, because I don't know the exact length. So it kind of helps you out to take out the cables from the power adapter. The next tool you're gonna need, it's gonna be, I brought it from Home Depot. It's Southwire. It's a 14 green solid CUTHN wire. So from there, it kind of helps out so we can get our current and power up the power seats. Um, I did go ahead and get some solid ones, kind of better ones, in order to go ahead instead of get the stranded ones. In my opinion, I want to say, I'll go ahead and show you later why. These just cost $10.99. You also can have them there, but if you already have some sort of power up wires, just go ahead and. Next thing, what I use is a motorcycle battery. Just basically make sure you have 12 volts. That's what you're gonna need for the power seat in order to power up. It does require the 12 volts. I did go ahead and get this from Advanced Auto Parts. It was around $39.99. If you don't need a use or anything, just make sure to kind of talk to the advanced auto parts with that. In this one, I'm going to go ahead and show you what the terminals look like from the outside. Right here, I took them out. It's a little bit better for me because I didn't know what they look like from the inside. So it helps you give you a better perspective from it. I'm going to go ahead and show you right here and pause it. Right there, it's going to be the little clips. It's going to be the same on the other side. So it can help you out see what it looks like from the outside. So when you put the terminal removers, you know what to look for and make sure the clips are in. The size of the terminal remover I'm gonna use, I believe it's 3.0 millimeters or 4.5 millimeters. It should be around those. That's where the clip is. And honestly, when I got these, it came with 3 packs, a little 3 packs separate. This is the first one. That's where I got it from. That's what I use for the Volkswagen Jetta. This is the second one. That's the third one. I'm trying to put it on there. I know the 0.3 millimeter kind of fits in there, but give you a little perspective. It's gonna be a little bit smaller. That's okay because the smaller it is, it kind of tightens up in the middle. And I'm go ahead. Sorry for the blur image. This is how it's gonna be. You're gonna try to make it in the middle. So the first clip and the other clip on the other side, pull down the little two tabs. When you're inserting the terminal pins, just make sure you get it right in the middle. Because I'll go ahead and show you later, is that it does go up and down, which prevents you from getting the two clips and pushing them down so they can be removed. When inputting the clip, right here, it's going to show you is you're going to have it right in the middle. You are going to hear a little click. So when you're inputting it, make sure it's always in the middle, not up or down, because as you can see, you do have space to kind of not get it in the middle in order for the two tabs to be pulled in and come out. When you are actually attempting to remove the terminal, one good tip is to keep that clip in. You do see me taking it out, but I think later on I realized that it's better to have it on inside more in than have it out because I think it kind of blocks the terminal from being removed. In this part also, I am using the pliers and very aggressively, you will see that some of the strap around the wire starts to be pulled. One thing I also realized is your terminal clip you also make sure it's not moving a lot. For me, it falls a lot. When you're moving the terminal, it is going to loosen up the clip, which causes it to fall. Right here, you can see that I was able to remove halfway. The only problem was that the clip fell, so it stopped. When you're removing the terminal and you're using your pliers right above where the terminal is at, the terminal hook, is always make sure, just be advised that it will try to strip some of the cover, the cable cover. If you don't mind that, I know it didn't cause any damage to the cables or for them to be cut. Just make sure you apply, a little hard, just not too aggressively, so it doesn't fully penetrate through the cover and kind of damage any of the wires. Right here, as you can see, I got it all the way halfway through. The only issue it didn't fully come out was because the clip was able to fall when I lifted the terminal. And as soon as I put it in, you're gonna see that the terminal kind of loosens up. You can even remove it with your hands and your fingers, and it just easily comes right off. This is also a demonstration that you have to do with the brown cable and the red and black cable, because those are going to be your positive and your negative. The only reason I removed the red and the yellow was because I didn't record when I removed the brown and the red and the black.
So you see the tip right here? It's supposed to be rounded like this. But just go ahead and grab a hammer and flatten it out much as possible, because we want it to enter, we want it to go into the hole. We want it to be able to go in here. So I'll show you right here. We want it to go in like this, so it's able to go inside.
Once you have your cables kind of cut out and also the tips flatten out and the end part where it goes into the battery curved, so it's able to kind of hook into it, let's go ahead and connect the positive to the red and black, which is going to give us connect to the positive one. And then we're going to have here on the negative side, we're going to connect it to the brown. Once we have the cables connected to the terminals, the next step is we're going to try to power on the seat. If it doesn't power on your end, make sure everything's connected. Make sure it's touching the battery, and also make sure the battery has full charge. Don't mind my dog there. Thankfully, the power seat was able to kind of move and be powered through the motorcycle battery, which I've been doing a lot of research for at least 3 days to see how to get this powered on. And somehow I found it on a forum. Once your power seat is fully powered on and you're able to adjust it with the motorcycle battery and having all the cables connected, just make sure adjust it to your height. Make sure you pull it all the way forward so you have space to connect the screws back in when putting it into your vehicle. Before putting your power seat back on, just make sure the seat is all the way forward so you're able to access the back screws and kind of have a better fitment when you're going to go ahead and put back the screws in. These were the triple square bit set that I bought from AutoZone. I did use the M10 one, which fits perfectly, removing the seat screws. Once you have your seat in, just make sure you have the battery and the cables connected, because you will have to move the seat more back in order to have room for the screws at the front in order to secure the seat. Once you're moving your seat back and forth and adjusting it to the height you want it to, just make sure you drag the battery along, because you will see here that it also falls. And just make sure all your cables are fully connected in order to power the seat. Just the final step is just hop on your seat and just adjust the height of however you want it, your back support, your lumbar support, if not the height of it, because remember, this is going to be a temporary power seat for the moment, since we have the motorcycle battery plugged in. So we're just going to have to choose the best preference that we want it to, and how you kind of almost daily drive the car.
You try to run away, it always seems to stay. Oh.